If we want to ensure a safe present and future on planet Earth, we need to be active democratic citizens and go out on the streets like we are doing today.
Right then, that was, of course, the climate change puppet and annoying pixie, Greta Thunberg. And she was somewhere making a long-winded speech that was obviously written by someone else. Because, let's face it, folks, she does have handlers. Her parents have handlers. They were all confronted in a hotel room last year by a journalist trying to uncover what the hell these people were doing and who was behind them. And when this journalist tried to ask who was funding them, then they made a pretty sharp harp and got the hell out of there quick. So obviously they've got something to hide. My money is on George Soros, personally. And yes, he has had his picture taken with Greta Thunberg. But anyway, back to Greta Thunberg's speech there. Now, she called for followers to take to the streets, and that could be taken any of two ways. Either they're going to protest silently and peacefully and in a civilized manner against climate change, or, as many of you and I suspect, she could be calling for a bit of a riot. After all, this climate change nonsense has been taken up by the left and Antifa and all the rest of them. And you got the Extinction Rebellion idiots who are making normal commuters' lives a complete and utter misery. And the latest tactic is to sit across the M25 motorway to demand that every home in Britain gets insulated. I mean, how the hell that's going to stop climate change is anyone's guess. But that's what these idiots are doing, and they need locking up, folks. Now, these aren't normal working class people who can afford to take weeks on end off so they can go and disrupt traffic and just make proper prats of themselves. No, these are self-righteous middle-class people, and they are well-off students who think just because they can afford to insulate their homes, they think everyone can do it and everyone's got money. But of course, these people are completely out of touch. And it's really funny and ironic because the leader of these group of twats who are calling for every home in Britain to be insulated, because he hasn't insulated his home, his own house. What a hypocrite. These people are fucking hypocrites. And I digress at our police yet again, because there's a video out of these lunatics sitting arms linked across the motorway, and the police are being nice to them, asking them if they can get them anything.
Any questions at all, just ask. And if any of you in any discomfort or need anything, just let me know, and we'll try and sort you out in a nice way. Can't phrase that any worse, could I? But no, if you need any assistance at all, just let me know. Okay? Right, we'll be as we are.
Now, the police in this country need reform, root and stem. They really do. We need policemen. We don't need police persons. We need to root out political correctness, which has seeped through the police service like a cancer. They should be out there with their riot stuff on and knocking these people on the heads and taking them to jail. Because these people are committing crimes. I mean, God help you if you were in an ambulance on the way to a hospital and you couldn't get there because these fuckwits were stopping you because of climate change. I mean, my God. And as for Insulate Britain leader and climate lunatic Liam Norton, who won't insulate his own home, by the way, he thinks nothing of blocking the M25, causing a woman who suffered a stroke to now be paralysed in hospital. Another elderly lady died in an ambulance who was stuck in traffic caused by his stupid organisation. A group of privileged middle-class prats from Surrey. I mean, these people should be rounded up and put in jail, and they should suffer heavy, heavy fines. These people should have the full weight of the law, and why not get them done for murder as well? That poor woman died in an ambulance, and they couldn't give a jot. They don't care, folks. This Liam Norton and his mum, by the way, is a Labour councillor. Surprise, surprise. These people should be put in court, prosecuted to the full extent, and do time in prison for murder. Liam Norton is an absolute fucking bastard. The police and the law need to come down extra hard on people like this, who think they can disrupt other people's lives because of their sickening self-righteousness tripe. So I'm going to take a pretty good guess here that Greta Thunberg's speech about taking to the streets will be taken literally by these left-wing lunatics, and they'll be out there rioting and destroying businesses and hurting people and wasting police time because that creepy little girl from Sweden with a 1,000-yard stare has told them to. That's what's going to happen, folks, mark my words. The left love a bit of rioting. Because do you remember during the 2016 Brexit campaign, and Nigel Farage suggested that if Parliament didn't instigate Article 16, which would enable us to leave the crooked EU, then he would take to the streets. And the left went absolutely hysterical. They got their little knickers, their little knickknicks in a twist, thinking there were going to be riots and murders and concentration camps built all over the place because Nigel Farage and Brexiteers are quite literally Nazis. But of course, that didn't happen. We did go to the streets and we made speeches and we were quite civilised. Unlike the lefties. So this speech by that creepy little girl, I think, was very irresponsible considering the delicate atmosphere we have here in the West, where anything or anyone can instigate a riot just like that. So I believe Greta Thunberg, who's old enough now, she should be made an example of. She should have a collar felt for this inflammatory speech, and she should be charged. Her and her parents and her handlers. But I suspect her handlers and whoever's funding them is way too shadowy and very much out of the reach of the long arm of the law. And it's also a little known fact that the Indian government wanted to charge Greta Thunberg with sedition, but couldn't really pin it on her because she shared a tweet she deleted later on, which included a toolkit which would have helped their striking farmers become a bit more militant and a pain in the arse. So she got off scot-free. And she always will because she is protected. Anyway, that's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And if you'd like to support my channel, then you can always buy me a beer. Because by buying me a beer, neither YouTube nor Google get a penny of what you decide to give me. And that's that. So please comment, share, subscribe. And until the next video, Roger Trout.